Alright, so in theory, this should be working. Or not. Alright, so I'm gonna hope it's working and go ahead and start. Okay, so this is the sculpture of Neptune. So this was sculpted by Antoine Bryce. It is currently located at the Louvre and a fountain. So originally it was made in terracotta, and then once he got approval, he remade it in marble. So this is a photogrammetry 3D scan of the actual sculpture from the Louvre, from when I went to visit it. So one of the things you can actually notice in the sculpture is right here, due to the limitations of the marble to actually support its own weight, he had to connect the points of the trident to the actual horse, and there was an awful lot of actual structural work done to keep this thing from collapsing in on itself, such as right here and there. Also see that he did skimp a little bit on the finger details, mostly due to the fact that this is actually full scale. This little joystick here is about the size of my fingertip, so just for scale, you can see that this is, for marble at least, this is not a very big piece of marble here. It's very thin, which is part of what makes this all very impressive, is that he managed to carve out all of this without it like chipping away from a solid pyramid of marble that was top of it was around this high. Sorry, not that high. It's even higher. It was about 3 meters up, so around that way. Like if we go up here, top of the piece of marble was here, and then it came down like that, down, and he carved it out. Now, one of the issues with marble is that it's very easy to break the entire sculpture the slightest wrong move. So that in itself is quite impressive. They did all this fine detail work with these thin, for marble, thin pieces without them completely shattering at the slightest jostling. Even more impressive thing is this was actually moved several times during the French Revolution, and it still did not get any damage during that movement. Now go on to the subject matter. So the name of this statue is Neptune. It's currently in the statue garden at the Louvre. It was originally meant to be put inside of a wall niche, which is why, if you come around to the back, you can actually see right here and along here, the sculpture's not actually finished. This is not from it breaking, this is actually from the sculptor stopping once your line of sight stopped. Which is an interesting thing, because you can see it in a good chunk of the sculpture, like just the entire back. He skimmed or skipped a bit on the details. So like this side of Neptune's face has much less detail work done than this side on the actual sculpture. It's harder to tell in this because this is just a 3D scan, but and see, this side of the trident is a little bit rougher than this side, because typically the only angles you would be seeing this from would be from at max about here or over here, and it would be from a distance, which allowed him to only do details on this area. Now, in the actual sculpture itself, you can see Neptune taming what is believed to be a representation of the waves of the ocean, which in Greek mythology were where horses came from, because you could see the manes and the sea foam, as you can see there. So Antoine Cosvet, or Coiseve, actually tried to incorporate that in stylizing the horse's mane and the horse to make it look more like a liquid than a solid object. So here, instead of a normal horse's mane, you see it's more of a foam design with little parts that cave in and flow. And then the hooves themselves seem to flow into the basis, which this is made to be smooth, very much so. And this is currently actually in a fountain, which enhances the effect. He had several ocean themed. He had 4 other ocean themed statues that he made at the same time as this. One was of Amphitrite, Neptune's lover, and then there's one of Triton, Neptune's son, and then there was a 4th one of La Seine and La Marne, which are 2 rivers in France, which have various deities associated with them. Here's a picture of the actual sculpture itself. If I can scale this up. So as you can see, this is from it's currently in the Marly fountains in the Louvre. But so originally there were 2 holes there where it was mounted in the niche. They've since filled them up, and these are just information plaques now. But with this,